So we also do as part of our day-to-day engagement, but that's on the humor side. But I take great privilege to be here at this at the state conference, which has actually brought in different stakeholders, and it's I'm really looking forward for the panel discussion. I know we have been speaking about AI. I mean, pretty much all of our speakers have set the context on how it is impossible for us to even think of a world where AI does not exist. But yet, while there is the most advanced level of AI and with access, something that we are speaking about, yet all of us are here to see how it actually gets disseminated to the last milestone. So I think that would be the direction in which I would really like to steer this conversation, because yes, AI is really innovative. It has kind of leveled the field for participation and competition, or even representation, yet that is not something that we are able to see, and that is one of the reasons why most of us, particularly the CSRs and even the CSR funding from the companies, are really directing towards, because while we had expected AI or technology to level the game, it does seem that we are not so close to that. So then how do we we all work together to change that needle in terms of access and equity, particularly because we have like plenty of courses, free courses too, but yet it seems like there seems to be we cannot really drive this without a human being intervention. It's never been possible that we set up a lab and with the best of the technology, and we let the most marginal, the one in the tier 2 or tier 3 be able to access it. It seems that we are still investing and having conversation on how do we work towards leveling that field. So in that context, it gives me a privilege to actually have a distinguished panelists who are actually representing CSR industry and institutions, who are going to bring together this conversation on how we can all work together in making this ecosystem more equitable, more accessible, and how can we all be prepared as we actually go further. And the preparedness may not be about teaching one skill. That's something that, because like we have seen, the technology will change in another 15 years. Then how do we actually work towards teaching students to learn rather than just teaching one skill? And that's where actually all of our presence becomes even more important. So I look forward for the panel, and I think I will invite Sujit to please introduce the panelists.
So we have kept in this way. We'll have 1 minute 30 seconds by each panelist to introduce themselves and about their background.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think after the lunch, right? So it's slightly difficult for everyone to concentrate, hopefully. Yeah. Okay. I'm Ramesh Gupta. I head the risk practice for FIS Global Solutions. We involved in implementing AI as a end-to-end element. Initially, we started with automating some of the jobs, some of the concepts, and then we started rethinking every area, and then involved in implementing AI as a full tool, full spectrum, and FIS being the pioneer in fintech domain. So we are also seeing very good traction in the market. I've been in the industry for the last 2 decades. I'm a banking fintech leader, and looking forward to learn from everyone here. Thank you.
Good afternoon. All right. So myself, Mohan, guys, and I'm the founder and CEO of FWC. I started my first company in 2014 from Bengaluru. So, Kannada Bharate, Ellargu Namaskara. And I bought in Odisha. So, I'm a school dropout, guys, and I started my company in 2014. Post that, I made my first $1 million revenue at the age of 26. And as a second venture, I started in US in 2021. It's my company name called FWC IT Services Private Limited in India, and in US FWC INC. And my third venture is called Silicon Venture, which I'm representing here. So we do startup investment and most of the AI ML segment. That's my preferred industries. And right now I have more than 30 country portfolio, and looking forward to share my insight. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon to galaxy of guests on the dais and off the dais. I am Dr. Nagaraj, worked for Quality Biscuits Limited, which is now a part of Britannia Industries Limited. I went to academics about 30 years back. I worked for 2 engineering colleges, that is JNN College of Engineering in Shimoga, and currently I am working at Prerana Educational and Social Trust, which runs 5 institutions including Engineering College, Degree College, PU College, School and Polytechnic. I take care of all administrative efforts of Prerana Group currently as registrar. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. There is a saying in Hindi, khana andar dam bahar. So, the thing is, good afternoon.
Happy afternoon.
So, I should know, because I am a teacher, all the while I have been teaching, so I should know my audience is alive. Right. So, this is Satyanarayan Reddy. I am Vice Chancellor of Srinivas University, Mangalore. And about me, I still remember, when I was teaching engineering course, I started from the year 2000. Of course, engineering, I started teaching engineering college students long back from 1989, right? But artificial intelligence, I insisted to be introduced from 2001 in Nagpur University. And let me tell you, I got only one candidate to teach. This is how, at that time I had seen that artificial intelligence is going to be the most promising solutions of the world. And we are seeing this particular day. In Srinivas University, we have almost 19 institutions, different. Right from medical school to engineering to nursing to allied health sciences to management courses, and that also specialized these things, computer science courses, and you name it, we have it, hotel and catering management and all. Take my word, I have introduced AI in everything. And this is where you can innovate. Like Suresh sir in afternoon, he was introducing. Now, what people will have to do once AI comes into picture, everything it is doing, you have to think. Right? So, of course, given the opportunity, I'll tell you how to think. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's like Antakshari. I'll take the last word from Sir. Thinking. Okay, everyone asked before my introductions, like it is here, it's Lakshmi Devi Prakash. If you Google it, you will get to know what and all I do that. But other than that, why I'm going to start with the word thinking, right? So everyone asked if AI can generate reports, write code, okay, everything end to end, whatever you think about it, then what is our role? Indirectly, I'm asking, are we going to lose the jobs? No. Will replace humans? Definitely no. It's all about thinking. Ultimately, whatever is happening, right, the decision thinking from our side. Okay, I work as a lead in JP Morgan Chase to represent industry, but it's always a collaboration with academia, industry, and for sure government people also, if they support with respect to infrastructure, right? We can also have our own models. It doesn't mean that we do have models. Probably you have heard Sarvam AI and Bharajan AI. Okay, so let's have many more. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Purna Chaudhary, and I am representing American India Foundation Trust. I'm glad to be sitting here and talking about the grassroots perspective on an occasion on such an important discussion that we are doing today. American Indian Foundation Trust is a 23-year-old organization, and we are working across livelihoods, education, and public health. That's it. Thank you so much.
It's great to hear everyone, and it just keeps me thinking, how do I introduce myself? And the topic of this discussion is degrees to skilling. Strangely, in my life, it was the other way around. It was skilling to degree. I never went to college. I flunked 12th 3 times, and I flunked in maths. Maths was never my favorite subject. My father said, and when I actually passed, I only got 39, by the way. And yet I am dabbling in crores of rupees in CSR and working around budgets. So that's just an example of how skilling can help you. I did my secretarial course. My father said, if education is not something you're interested in, pick up a skill. So when we talk about skilling today, it's not new. I did my secretarial course and then started my work at 17 and a half. Skilling was something that came to me naturally, and then there came a point of time when I realized that my life was stagnating. I didn't want to see myself as a secretary looking at my boss's calendar, and this is no offense to any admin assistant who is in this room, but I wasn't looking at myself ordering a gas cylinder for my boss's wife for the rest of my life. And therefore I decided I had to do something new and picked it up from there. So this is Pratima Harite, leading CSR for Lenovo India Private Limited and Motorola Mobility India Private Limited. I look at 13 markets in Asia Pacific, India being one of them. I have about 20 plus years experience. When I look at skilling and working with children and students in education, I focus on how they're going to be building their roadmaps, because that's exactly what I did. So that's a little bit about me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, all of you. That was a great round of actually introduction. I think that kind of also opened up to the worlds that you carry along with you. So I think I'll go with you, Pratima. So you have been in the CSR for 20 years.
Tell me that I have 10 minutes. So as part of my CSR portfolio, I also do communication. So guys, be ready for storytelling. So we will love it after the lunch. So actually, I think AI is a great enabler and leveler if you look at design and also about how you want to implement it. And I'm going to give you stories, like I said, because these are examples that we did. So when Lenovo started moving itself into AI space about 2 years ago, they were doing it at the back end, but we really got to know about AI only about a couple of years ago when the strategy was in place. One of the things that kept us awake at night, and I did reach out to my line manager in US and I said, we need to see, we have around 300 organizations that we are working with, and I don't know if they are AI capable. I don't know what is AI. I don't know what they know about AI, and then I have to work with them on AI. So we said, okay, we have to bring up our education in AI. So let's look at capacity building of the NGOs. We created a survey, and we sent out the survey to organizations to send globally, asking them what they thought of AI, what were their concerns on AI, what were their opportunities on AI. 300 NGOs participated in that survey. And interestingly, what came out is that they were not looking for funding in AI. That was probably the second last priority. Their priority was more on knowledge, wanting to know what is AI. Second was around having the right kind of people telling them how AI needs to be integrated in their work that they were doing. But what surprised us was also that there were organizations that had adapted to AI in their integrations, but had not thought about it being too great. So we had Solve Education, an organization that is based in Singapore, but does work with community-based organizations across Asia Pacific, who had created an ed chatbot that was actually looking at creating personalized learning for students. So they had actually used AI to change the design, the way they were implementing it. Because they were using, Solve Education was using a gamified version that was working on the mobile phone. But with COVID coming in, they realized that if they had to expand, scale it up, get more people to participate, more students to participate in it, then they had to look at a different way in which the model would work. And you cannot always have your resource centricity is high when you're looking at human resources. And if you want to go into deeper rural areas or where there is no connectivity, you have to look at an offline way in which you can communicate to the students and ensure that the students are able to pick up learning paths without the teachers being there. So we were greatly surprised that here was an organization that had adapted AI and didn't think twice about telling us about it or whatever. And that gave us an understanding to say that there could be organizations who require AI, but it has not gelled into the way they design the program. But there are organizations who have adapted AI very well and gelled it within the design of their program and taken it forward. So I think AI allows that, designing the program efficiently in some cases. I think the other piece is also about reach, right? Especially if you're looking in places where connectivity is low. Yes, we talk about LLMs, and pardon me if I am off track or doesn't sound like what I'm saying is right, because I'm not a tech person. So where you have LLMs and all that, that's where you're doing the data collection, right? And then you have an algorithm that's putting out the output. The output can always reach the last mile. And a good example of that is we working with Annam AI, which is a AI incubation of IIT Roper. Now the government has, IIT Roper has come out with this thing called All Weather Station. So it's a small contraption which is like that tripod stand there, which collects hyperlocal weather data. And the government is collecting that because of the climate resilience problem that we will face in the near future. There is no hyperlocal data that is available with the government at this point of time. And if we want to be climate resilient, that is the data that they require. That's great, that's from the government end. But it got us thinking to say, will this data not work for farmers, right? Because the data, the AWS is being put in different locations in different states. So definitely there's a way in which the data is being collected in local languages. So why would you not look at the last mile reach to take it down to the farmers? And with mobility being there so much in the villages, all it required was an AI chatbot that would speak to the farmers in terms of weather alerts that will help them decide whether they need to go into sowing, whether they need to go into reaping, whether they want to know if there is rain going to come or no. Everything that you could prepare the farmers for. So that's the other piece where there is low connectivity and where you feel farmers, are they going to require AI? What are they going to do with it? There is still scope for us to look at how that works. And the last piece is around accessibility, right? For persons with disability. Something that bothers me as a CSR professional and more because I work in the education is that we've still not cracked how to skill persons with disability in the normal case. With AI integrations that are coming in, are we really prepared to give them an opportunity to employment? And this is an interesting episode again. In Goa, we set up a center of excellence that was focused on AI and ML. And Paulomi and I, who normally sit and we are like the two Samaritans who think we can make the world a better place to live in. And we said, how do we get persons with disability in? We are part of the employee resource group that works around persons with disability. And you hear every time about what needs to be done and how you can make it accessible. So we challenged the partner to say that if you're doing 10,000 students, 1,000 students, we definitely want persons with disability. And this we were doing in the college. did get 1,000 students, but they were not from the college. They were from schools, and they were from residential schools. So something for us to think about. That when you're looking in the college ecosystem, there are not enough persons with disability students who are doing their graduations or post-graduations. And that got us thinking to say, are we letting go of that resource? Yet, the positive side of it, the students that came from the residential schools, they were young students from high school and going towards junior college. Amazing ideas that they came up with, voice to text, text to voice. We had individuals who were saying that I can move my arm and limb like this, so can I create an AI solution that would work for somebody without an arm or without a limb? There were students who came up with these ideas about saying that, different elements that were coming in from persons with disability. And at the risk of sounding like I'm thumping my chest, but this is a platform, I can do that. When we had the AI Impact Summit, there were 200 applications that went to the AI for Education compendium that Government of India put up. 36 were shortlisted. We were one of those. And we only got shortlisted because we had accessibility and persons with disability in the program that we submitted for the compendium. And that was announced to say that out of those 36 applications, this one only made it because they were working with persons with disability. So coming back to your question, yes, there are ways in which you can use AI and from CSR angle and how you want to build it. It's around design, it's around reach, and really the last mile, not just within a research institution or within an academic institution, but beyond that. And also from a perspective to say accessibility. I think one other element that got me thinking today as we were looking at everybody speaking is a lot of these solutions that are actually being looked at the last mile, वो बना ही रहे हैं हमारे students. There are students who are making it, right? And they're doing it because that problem solving, that imagination, visualization is all coming from them. So we probably need to balance ourselves out in saying कि कितने हद तक हमको AI skilling और employability के ऊपर अपने आप को मारना है, पीटना है, और किस हद तक हमारा जो नया generation है, the younger generation can take it forward. I'm sorry I'm speaking in Hindi, but the reason for that is because I have a very diverse culture. So I'm actually from Karnataka. My father is from Murdeshwar, my mom is from Gokarna. I was born and brought up in Maharashtra. I'm married to a guy from Delhi who's a Tamilian Brahmin from Chennai. So I do know a few languages. I understand a few languages, but English and Hindi is where I tend to lean on when I am passionate and excited about something. So I'm guessing I've taken up my 10